Alright, welcome back everyone, it's your Code King Zaf here. Due to very popular viewer demand, we jumped in and tested out every single brand new Blessing Stone when it comes to Finisher Touch, and also this one right here, we have Acrobat giving us a major attack increase. We're talking 35% at the Transcendent mark, and this one as well, Finisher Touch giving us a major weapon skill damage gain. This one gives us 110% at the Mythic / Transcendent mark, giving us a huge boost, but is it really that good? Are we really getting these bonuses outright, making them totally meta options? Well, don't worry, I jumped in, I tested out Finisher Touch non-stop, giving us so many results, seeing where it works, seeing where it doesn't work, so please, drop a like, it means a lot. These videos take a long time to make, so I hope you enjoy. And also forget to jump in and support us if you have yet. If you want free codes like Essence Zones, Mana Power, Extracts, and more, go to the link down below and press that juice red square button. This page will come up, you scroll down, press that, press yes, and you're done. Then you just wait. Over time, the codes we send to you to the My page on the website. Right now, the codes have expired, so you missed out, but don't worry. Next week, we got 3 codes coming in, so just wait. In a few days, we send codes like Essence Zones, SSR Weapon Designs, and also Abyssal Crystals, one of the rarest shadow materials in the game, so jump in and support that way. You don't miss out on the free benefits. And on top of your free codes, as a reminder, next week, your support will be removed, so don't worry, I'll remind you to jump in and extend your support. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on the codes. Your support gets reset for every brand new season. Right now we are on season 11, so for the brand new season 12, your support gets automatically removed. I know it sucks, but I'll remind you to jump in and extend your support that way. You don't miss on the benefits coming in, of course. And a big shout to my boy Uriah, the first commenter on our last juicy video. Now, with all that said, let's jump in and cover our testing results, but I do want to mention when it comes to First Strike Barrage, this was one of the recent new ones we got last time, and it's bugged, and well, I jumped in, I tried it out, don't worry, it's still bugged, so it's not a viable option, at least not yet. In the future, maybe, but right now, it is not a good option, because it just doesn't work. But when it comes to working, we have a very interesting interaction when it comes to Acrobat. You're wondering, well, Zaf, if we get hit, we lose one of the stacks, so we get 35% attack when we spawn in, but once we're hit, we lose one of the stacks, losing up to 10 stacks, which is, well, not ideal. But what about if we have a shield? If we have a shield and we get hit, will it still proc the negative effect where we lose a stack? Well, let me just show you right now live. If it's not going to proc and we keep the stacks with a shield, that means it's one of the best options in the game. So let's go in, let's equip Blessing Stones like Acrobat, and let's put on Life as well. That way we have an option to get a shield. So we have Acrobat right over here. Boom. We have Heroic, doesn't matter. We're just testing out the effect to see whether or not it lasts. I want to mention though, when it comes to most recent guild boss, one of the best bosses yet. So watch, we have 10 stacks, we have 9, and we have a shield. And oh, that's rough, chat. That means we don't get to keep our stacks permanently, but still, it's a very good option. Even with shield, even if we're losing the stacks, it is still one of the best options for, you guessed it, the battlefield time. We usually beat the mobs quite quickly in the battlefield time, so this is a great option, probably a meta option for gaining attack coming in. It'll be good for very certain modes where we need more attack, of course, on jinwoo, so this is surprisingly a meta option that we can use in certain instances. That, of course, being in certain battles where we don't need our staples, such as Bloodlust, we have Sharp Perception, we have Reawaken, of course, we have other options such as, let's say, We Are One, Intuit, stuff like that. Blessing Stones we normally use all the time, so Acrobat, honestly, in the battlefield time, does seem to have very good viability. As long as we're not hit too much, it is basically better than options such as Mana Rampage, only giving us 20%, where this gives us 15% outright at the Transcendent mark. So this right here is a good option that is in very rare instances. But how about the brand new Blessing Stone when it comes to the weapon buffer? One of the most interesting ones today, we have Finisher Touch. Well, we have a lot to cover there. This one interacts as you guess. We do get diminishing returns. So when you use weapons such as the Demon King Daggers, how does it interact? Do we lose damage or not? Because obviously these weapons do have internal buffs, giving them major damage gains by themselves. But what about the interaction with the Blessing Stone? Are we still getting the gains or not, right? Let me find the DKD right over here. As you can see, it provides us so many buffs like 150% gains on the weapons damage, on our skill damage, 150%, 150%, and another 150% in there as well. So when it comes to these options, how does it interact? Well, don't worry, we jumped in, we tested every single thing out, and it took some time. When it comes to testing methodology, very simple. We had a precision all the way to 99%. That way our damage was always the same. For you new players, that's how we test things in the game. We have these signals right here to not influence our damage. We have no artifacts equipped as well. So I jumped in, I did a very simple baseline test. I had the west one, I jumped into the giant statue, and I test out my damage. I had before and after numbers, but when it came to my before and afters, as you can see, these are the afters using a blessing stone, and this was the before. I used a weapon with the same element of typing. I only got a 54% bonus, and I was stumped. I was like, what happened there? Well, when it comes to our bonuses in the game, we have one bonus to consider when it comes to Westwind. Even at the A0 mark, we still get a 75% user damage increase. So the 75% kicked in, and it reduced the bonus we got from, of course, the Blessing Stone. So we had a base of 100% damage, plus the 75% from the Secret Bullet, and then 95% from the buff on the Blessing Stone. It only gave us a 54% damage increase from the weapons damage on Westwind, which is honestly not that bad, right? The formulas right here if you want to see them. That's how you calculate it out. So we got 54%, which isn't too bad, but not every weapon is an A0 Westwind, so we have more things to consider when it comes to how much damage we gain, but so far not too bad. Generally, we're not going to get a 54% bonus when it comes to rocking one Blessing Stone, but don't worry, keep listening, there's a bit more to cover. So when it comes to our raw damage without Secret Bullet, we do get a straight up 95% bonus. This was when we weren't proccing the bonus here, so we got a flat 95% bonus coming in. That means when it comes to the Blessing Stone Finisher Touch, the bonus right here when it comes to a 30% additional buff is not an additional buff, it's just one buff combined together, which is so much better. If it was 65% plus 30%, we would get a much lesser buff, which is obviously not good. So we get a 95% flat bonus, assuming no other buffs coming in. But as we go down, we'll see that our buffs do get influenced quite a ton. I tested it as well when it comes to Battlefield Trials, where we didn't have the 30% buff, and as you can see, we got around the 65% mark, which is exactly what we want. When it comes to Battlefield Trials, I do have a hidden 5% buff somewhere, so we're not getting the exact 65% figure, which is fine. We got around that ballpark, so it's perfect, but when it comes to the Battlefield Chaos again, we still get the same buffs. Even when we have other buffs, such as right here, we have the increase in damage by 1%. This did not impact our damage, so that's good. We're not getting impact from every single source, so we got around the 95% mark, including the 5% hidden buff there, so that's good. We are getting good results coming in. And don't worry, I didn't include the back damage from Baruka's weapon. That would skew our results a lot. But how about the damage increase set? Because when it came to the Westwind, this is a user damage increase buff, but when it comes to the game, we have various translations that just don't mean what they mean. So as we saw there, I want to jump in and test our damage increase set. So I equipped the core, and I saw that we got no damage differences at all. We are fine there, thank goodness. No damage buffs, meaning our damage was perfect every single time. We still got that 95% increase, and honestly, I'm very happy because I was kind of worried that the damage increase set would influence how the Blessing Stone worked, but it didn't, thank goodness, otherwise we were cooked. Because when it says user damage increase, you kind of assume that this is not weapon skill damage, but I guess it is. Netmarble, fix your translations. But how about Big Rock? If you didn't know, when it comes to Big Rock, the basic skill damage bonus actually means weapon damage as well. So we get a 12% weapon damage buff. So when I jumped in and tested it out, from the Blessing Stone, we didn't get 95% because we got diminishing returns. You guessed it. We got 84.82% based on the calculation, and in practice, we got 81%, which is within the test parameters, so we're good to go. We are still getting diminishing returns from any weapon damage source, and as we go down, I tested out various weapons because I had a very concerning damage result. So here's our grimoire. We got around the 65% mark, perfect when it came to the ticks of damage. But how about the Winter Fang? Ooh, this is a good weapon to test because we get a bunch of buffs. So we have the silver mark stacking up to 2 times, giving us 55% damage increase on the weapon every single time. And we have this buff right here, an 80% bonus. Does this work as well? This is a water damage buff and not a weapon damage buff. Do water damage bonuses count as well? Well, I tested it out. We did a lot of testing for this reason. The Winter Fang, as you can see, it did not include the 8% buff, which is perfect. it only counted the 55% bonus that we got from the passive itself. So when we calculate it out, we should have gotten around a 31.5% bonus. We got 32.5 as an increase from damage using the brand new Blessing Stone, so it's good. Within 1% exactly what we want to see. So when it comes to Winter Fang, this option could work, but you have to remember, we have a lot of weapon bonuses. When it comes to the Alenzor, that is a good weapon, which gives us, well, you guessed it, a lot of bonus weapon, skill, damage. So when it comes to our options there in the water category, it might not work out too well. We're getting a lot of weapon bonuses in, 60% right here, so it might not be the best option for water category. But what about our other categories? We have the DKD as well. How does it interact? Well, when it comes to DKD, we have a lot of bonuses. 150%, 150%, and another 150% coming in. So in practice, we only really got around a 16% damage increase when of course using the brand new Blessing Stone, so nothing too major there, unfortunate. When we had the Lightning Rush kick in, so that means with the Blessing Stone already equipped, with Lightning Rush's 150% damage increase, we only got a 32% damage gain, so we get diminishing returns left and right, all the time, diminishing, and diminishing. So we tested it out, but we got a very interesting result when it came to our quarterstaff. Something I wasn't aware of. When it comes to quarterstaff, as you know already, we have a lot of weapon damage buffs. We're getting hundreds of percent, 150%, which stacks up to multiple times. So as we go down, this is with the brand new Blessing Stone, and this is without. But what about the ticks of damage coming in? The ticks of damage never changed their damage output, but the first hit did change. But don't worry, I tested out when it came to other Blessing Stones. For some reason on the quarterstaff, the multiple hits never changed their damage output. They always remain the same. So I tested out Boss Slayer, and as you can see, we still got the same damage result. Very weird. But when it came to the first hit on the quarterstaff, it did change. As you can see, we got a very nice 15% damage increase on the quarterstaff when it came to the first strike. So nothing major, but still a decent bonus, more or less. The Boss Slayer only managed to get a 5% bonus based on the initial result, so nothing really major there, because the quarterstaff again already has a ton of base bonuses, so the Boss Slayer couldn't do a single thing, giving us only a 5% gain. So honestly, when it comes to the brand new Blessing Stone, it does have some use cases. Let's go down, let's keep testing things out. I just confirmed when it came to the West Wind that we did of course get the, 28% buff from the Boss Slayer, just to make sure I'm not getting some hidden buffs, just to clarify our numbers. So the Boss Slayer, unfortunately when it comes to quarterstaff, only a 5% bonus, yucky. But how about actual tests when it comes to, of course, you guessed it, the Guild Boss? So running DKDs, we got 350% bonuses. These bonuses together gave us 450%. So in practice, how much damage did we gain? We gained around a 17.5% bonus on the Legendary Blessing Stone, which is exactly what we expected based on the calculations, of course. So 17.5% on the DKD, honestly, not that bad. That's a pretty good bonus. We can definitely use this Blessing Stone when it comes to certain instances where we want weapon damage coming in, and we don't need Blessing Stones such as We Are One. I'll cover that. So here's another test. When it came to Infamy, we do get a basic skill increase, and of course, you guessed it, diminishing returns are coming in. Based on calculation, we should get a 47.5% increase, and that is what we got based on test right here. With Infamy and the Blessing Stone, we got 47.5% damage increase on Infamy, so diminishing returns left and right. But how about when it comes to other options? Let's say, for example, the Power of Destruction. We have various Blessing Stones we use, so we have We Are One, we have Bloodlust, we have Sharp Perception, we have Reawakening. We can't really substitute, let's say, any of these for this right here to get more damage on weapon skill, because then our hunters will suffer, because then we'll suffer when it comes to our crit, our cooldowns, our defense reduction, and of course the buffs on hunters. So it's going to have very specific use cases. Here's an example in a real fight scenario where we have Mana Rampages, 20% attack increase, and of course the brand new Blessing Stones, 95% weapon damage increase. You can see the result is much different. We got a major gain, but again, this is only for weapons. this is every single damage source, such as our skills, which is a major damage source in the game. But as we go down, I test out the Phoenix Soul as well, and unfortunately, when it comes to Phoenix Soul, our main damage is of course our core attacks, which do transform. But as you can see right here, once equipped, we got no damage differences. We got 127 whatever, and we got 127 whatever right here. And when it came to the crit, we got 306 and we got 306 yet again. So it does not influence our core attacks, even though it's a weapon bonus technically. So we can say right now, when it comes to the brand new Blessing Stones, we have some pretty good options in there. We have the defensive ones as well. Let me cover that very quickly, and I'll give you my summary, of course. The defensive ones, I mean, they're good. They're not crazy, but they have some use cases here or there. Let me show you. When it comes to Life Emotion, we are getting a bit more healing coming in, and of course we're getting a bit more defense, so less damage taken. It could be viable, nothing crazy. If we have a lot of heals, this is the way to go potentially to make sure we don't die, so it has some use, a little bit of use, nothing crazy. We of course have Weapon Resonance. If we need a lot of shields coming in, this one could work. We have to use 4 weapon skills, so that's kind of tough to activate, but it has a 20-second cooldown as well, and it only lasts 10 seconds, so we can get a shield here or there. It can be useful again if we want shields, but the activation does take some time. We have to use weapon skills 4 times, which is a lot, but still, the 35% bonus is huge. We're talking major gains. 35% attack is so much better than every single other source we have, so this is meta until we get hit multiple times. If we're getting hit, not a good option. We have Swift Restoration as well. This one's pretty good for gaining heals in. We get 4.5% HP every 15 seconds once we get a heal coming in, so we get heals on heals, and of course bonus HP recovery. This one could be good for new players, but when it comes to defensive Blessing Stones, we already have staples, we have life, we have of course, where is my favorite, aggressive events. We have other ones such as, we could say for example, daily quest completion, that's a good one. We have other ones like natural disaster, reducing the damage we take. So we already have a bunch of staples, also including this one right here, to make sure we get the aggro on Kasaka, sorry no, it's Candiaru's Blessing, you know which one I'm talking about. It's in front of me, I'm telling you, but I just can't find it, there we go. Giving us HP increases, and of course tenacity, reducing damage we take, even Kasaka Steel Scales. No one really has tested these out to see which one's the best, because we don't need the defensive ones too often, which is fine. In the future, I'm sure once we need them, we will see which ones are the best. But when it comes to, of course, the attack ones, Finisher Touch, viable on certain combinations, I'll talk about that, and ACROBAT when it comes to battlefield time, and any mode where we need attack, and we don't get hit, this one's very, very good. But when it comes to our weapon combinations, which ones work out? So when it comes to dark weapons, they're just buffing weapons. Zeke's Fragment and the Scythe are not viable, so when it comes to our dark category, I don't see the Blessing Stone working out. When it comes to Wind, we are getting a bit of a bonus, so if it's just Jinwoo, it is a viable option. Where we don't have Weird One equipped, it can work out, giving us a bit of a bonus, but I don't think we'll notice it too much when it comes to other sources, like equipping, let's say, Weakness Section, where we do get the 20-ish% elemental damage bonus, so I can't really say we'll get a major benefit there, but it can be an option for sure. But overall, it's not going to work out too well when it comes to Wind, because we already have, of course, you guessed it, so much weapon damage on it. When it comes to Light, of course, the Divine Quarterstaff, until the ticks of damage get fixed, and we get the bonus damage coming in, it will work out. We got a pretty good weapon damage bonus coming in, but of course, don't forget, we have the Goldtail Fox. Do we get any weapon skill damage coming in? Well, we get light basic skill bonuses here, and we get other bonuses like light damage, which might not get affected, so it could be viable. You know what, after talking about it, I want to jump in and test it just to be sure. It could actually be good. Hold on. We have that right there. We apply the passive. Let's use the quarterstaff right here to see what the damage is like. Here, first tick, we got a crit, we'll take it. So we got a pretty actually sizable crit there. Let me see the result now without the Blessing Stone very quickly. And without the Blessing Stone, let's see what we get. Let's hope it's a crit, please. I don't want to spam this run over and over again, and it wasn't a crit. Let me run that back. And there we go, there's our crit. Hold on, that's a bit less damage. Let's see what the calculation is right there. Give me a second. And of course, you guessed it, based on a very quick result, we are getting diminishing returns on the weapon as well. The Goldtail Fox only giving us a major bonus. When it came to the brand new Blessing Stone, we only got a 17.5% bonus, which is to be expected. Diminishing returns happening left and right, so it could work with the light if we don't have any other options. but it's not the best option out there, unfortunately. We have a lot of other weapon combinations too. We talked about fire, and you guessed it, we're not getting any bonuses from our core attack damage when it comes to brand blessing zone, so that is also not an option. Unfortunate. So I know, it's a bit awkward, but it is what it is. So when it comes to our weapons, light is possibly a good option. If we don't have the Gold Tail Fox equipped, it could actually work out. From other weapon buffs, we could get some more damage coming in. When it comes to water, we're already getting so many bonuses. We have the Allen's Orb, we have the Winter Fangs, so many bonuses there. When it comes to fire, we talked about that, and wind. So overall, as a Blessing Stone providing buffs, it's not terrible. It's not the best option out there, but it can get some use somewhere once we need that weapon damage coming in. Overall, the best Blessing Stone so far has been the Acrobat for the battlefield time, giving us major viability. I can't wait when it comes to a future jinwoo mode where I see all the top players using it to get more damage coming in. Once, of course, we guess that we have a mode where we do need attack coming in. There we go, my rewards. I want to get that first place spot, but hope you enjoy the testing. Of course, as you saw, the brand new Blessing Stones do have a fair bit of viability once used in the perfect scenarios. On the West Wind, you saw we got diminishing returns right away. So on all these weapons where we do have a ton of buffs on them, we are getting diminishing returns left and right. And the Phoenix Soul, where we're not getting a buff at all because it's core attack based. And of course, you guessed the core staff already housing so many weapon buffs, giving us a marginal bonus at best. So in the comment section, let me know your thoughts. I'm very curious. Are you a big fan of the brand new Blessing Stone or not? I'm a big fan of Acrobat, giving us major attack gains. And of course, honestly, I'm going to say, when it comes to Official Touch, I'm sure we can find very specific use cases where the 95% bonus or the 110 bonus when it comes to Transcendent Mark will become very viable. So don't write off the brand new Blessing Stone just yet. This one can see some major viability in the future right now. Once we get that jinwoo weapon damage coming in, this is a very good option. But for that, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, make sure to subscribe, and also jump in and support us if you want a bunch of free codes like Essence Zones, Mana, Power, Extracts, and more. Next week, your support does get removed, so don't worry. I'll remind you to jump in and support yet again. That way you don't miss on the free codes coming in, like Essence Zones, SR Designs, and more benefits, of course. But on that note, this is your Code King Zaf signing out. I'll catch you in the next juicy video, of course.